So my favorite smartwatch is the Garmin Fenix 6X, and it costs $700. But I recently found a watch that costs less than $50 and has pretty much everything the same as the $700 Garmin. Electronics and sensors are getting exponentially cheaper and cheaper with each passing day. 60-inch televisions when they first came out were tens of thousands of dollars. Now, you can get one for $300, which is insane if you think about it. The chipsets, batteries, touchscreens, the sensors, those have been inexpensive for a while now. But companies like Garmin and Apple have been trying to justify their high price tags with custom operating systems that exist on their watches. But now, with Google's Wear OS, it's no longer expensive or labor intensive to program a smartwatch that is well integrated and has all the same features as a $500 or even a $700 smartwatch. I recently found this watch called Cardio, and that's a perfect example of this phenomenon. It's got all the same features as an Apple Watch, and it even looks and feels like an Apple Watch. But it costs a fifth of the price of Apple and less than a tenth of Garmin. Makes me sick, honestly, thinking about the price gouging going on in this space. Now, I've reviewed just about every smartwatch on the market at this point. And when I'm deciding whether a smartwatch is good or bad, whether it's worth the money or not, there are three things that I always look for. One, the accuracy of the sensors. Is the heart rate monitor accurate? Is the step counter accurate? What about the GPS? Two, how easy is it to use? Is it easy to answer texts, take calls, control your music, see your stats, that sort of thing? And three, the build quality. Is the screen high def? Does the battery last a long time? Can it take a few bumps without breaking? Can it handle water? And don't forget, does it look sweet on your wrist? So with all that in mind, let's take a look at the Cardio. Heart rate monitor? I compared it to my Polar H10 chest strap, which if you don't know, is basically the gold standard for heart rate monitors. And the readings of the Cardio and the Polar were very close, which is pretty shocking since Polar goes on the chest, whereas you wear the watch on your wrist. I mean, technically, it's harder to get the same reading with the wrist. So that's pretty impressive. Step counter. It counts steps. I tested it for accuracy for a week against my $700 Garmin, and it came out pretty much identical, which is pretty crazy. Not much more I can say about that. Calories burned. It tells you how many calories you burned during each activity and at the end of each day. It factors in several metrics to make this calculation: your height, your weight, age, gender, heart rate, activity. And based on the data you input and the data from the sensors, it's just simple math to calculate caloric burn. Well, simple for a computer, anyway. So it's accurate since the sensors collecting the data are accurate. Activity modes? There's 14 of them. It makes sense to track things differently, of course. You burn a lot more calories swimming 5 miles an hour than running 5 miles an hour. So it's got swimming, biking, running on a treadmill, which I like, yoga, hiking, rowing, weightlifting, you get the idea. It's got GPS. You can see where you are and where you've been. Nice. It logs your routes so you can recreate and compare workouts. You can turn that off as well if you're worried, which is pretty nice. That is a feature that some of the $700 watches don't even offer. It has a sleep tracker and vibration alarms. You can see how long you spent in various stages of sleep, also when you fell asleep or when you woke up, and what your sleep quality was like. That's all based on your heart rate, so since the heart rate monitor is accurate, the sleep tracker is accurate. The vibration alarms are good too. They're very helpful since I usually wake up earlier than my wife, and my alarm would always wake her up, and that has always been a point of contention. It's IP68 waterproof, same as an Apple Watch. That means you can swim with it, you can shower with it, just don't go deep sea diving with it, and it'll be fine. Bonus feature, when your heart rate is too high, Cardio gives you a slight buzz, discreetly reminding you to calm down and breathe deeply. This feature can be turned off too. But I find that having a tiny nudge is very helpful in this high-stress world. But what about the non-fitness stuff? Well, it's quite intuitive when it comes to controlling your music and responding to texts, calls, messages, notifications, all that good stuff we come to expect from the flagship smartwatches. As for battery, I got 9.5 days of use from the cardio. I'm talking heavy use. I'm really impressed with this watch. It has all the features I would ever want, and it's got a nice screen, killer battery, it's waterproof, it's good looking. What else could you want from a smartwatch? If you want to get in shape or just upgrade from a low-tech watch, you need to try cardio before you waste hundreds of dollars on one of the big names. You're not going to get more for your money than you do with cardio, especially right now. They are on a 70% off sale right now, and you can pick up one of these for less than $50. I recommend picking up one of these before they run out. I'll put a link down below.